guys, today we're at the Tennessee Valley Museum and Railroad. We're going to take a ride on the railroad about an hour and then we'll go through the museum. We're going to take you guys along with us. This was one of our stops on our Chattanooga trip with Jefferson Tours and Charters. Everyone's heard of the Chattanooga Choo Choo, and it's far more than just a catchy name. It's a layered story spanning a pioneering 1880s steam locomotive. And there was a hit song by Glenn Miller that sold over 1 million copies in 1941. A grand Tennessee terminal station and a legacy that still draws visitors today. These are the rails that built the Tennessee Valley. Here you'll explore the people, industries, and communities shaped by the railroad and discover how its legacy still moves the region today. And here in Grand Junction, they have a small gift shop where you could pick up souvenirs as well as other things on display.
Attention museum guests, the Missionary Ridge local is now arriving. We invite you onto the platform and start to watch the arrival. Attention museum guests, for your safety we ask that you remain off all tracks and behind all yellow lights.
And as you can see, there were many people waiting to board the train the day that we went. We found out that our group was in the very last car of the train.
There you go. Boy, Jefferson Tour Group is going to be going to the right, please.
Thank you.
Good morning there.
Good morning.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
Hello there. Jefferson Tour Group is going to the right.
Can we sit anywhere?
Yeah, we might as well sit here.
We boarded the train, got settled in our seats, and then took our photo as we headed out for East Chattanooga.
I'm going to let you know when we get to East Chattanooga. We'll be inviting everybody off the train to view the turntable demonstration. And following that, we'll let you guys come off and see the back shop as well. And we'll be over there ASAP.
Okay, thank you.
So what's in here?
It's like a gift shop.
Oh, that's the gift shop too. On the way back, we can go in there, I guess.
They had some displays of train travel from years past, including people shipping their produce and farm animals and milk and such.
Alrighty, folks, welcome to our turntable demonstration. We have arrived at our destination of East Chattanooga, but there's actually another place we have arrived at. That other place is called the end of the line, and here it is. Fancy, I know. Now, I say that quite literally because this is the end of our 3-mile main line. This thus means we're not going any further. So we have to do something. And that something is something rather fun in my opinion. And that's we get to turn locomotive number 606 around on what's called a turntable. Now this here is our turntable, built back in 1916. This turntable measures in at 80 feet in length, weighs in at 80 tons, and is a fully motorized turntable powered by a 25 horsepower motor underneath. Now, that sounds fun, but here's a twist. You see, back in 1916, this wasn't a motorized turntable. What that meant is that all of the weight being turned around would have been done so by hand. I kid you not. This was a hand-powered turntable, or an Armstrong table. What that meant was, glad Joe called that. What that meant was that it took roughly about 4 people to turn this entire thing around. Anyways, folks, let me introduce you to our locomotive here today. One that's not on the local all too often, but it's here today. And this here is our small but mighty 606. 606 was built back in 1954 by the Electromotive Division, or EMD, a subsidiary of General Motors, for the Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Paul, and Pacific Railway. She operated as such until about 2015. She served through a variety of owners, including the Milwaukee Road, as I mentioned earlier. Her last owner was, and believe this, her last owner was the United States Navy, where she worked in the town of Crane, Indiana, where we acquired this engine back in 2015. So she had a pretty good career, 60 years of hard switching. That's pretty good. And 606 still is today our resident switching locomotive. If something has been moved around in this very yard, you can bet this one probably did it. As you can see here today, we are turning our turntable with that 25 horsepower motor, turning around on the slow track right underneath myself. But what are we going to do now? We're turning on the turntable. How are we going to get back to Grand Junction? Well, as we're turning the 606, the rest of our train is sitting back on track number 1. What we're going to do, we're going to take this turntable, we're going to move it to the track next door to track number 1. And we call this track number 2. Yes, the tracks are numbered here. Admittedly, track 2 is next to track number 1. Once we get ourselves lined up onto track number 2, the 606 is going to run around our train, and through the process of a switch being flipped, recouple back on track number 1, allowing for us to head back to Grand Junction. Alrighty, folks, let's give our crew a round of applause. And at this time, we're going to go over to our back shops for the shop tour.
We followed our guide through the rail yard over to the back shop, and along the way, we got to see a lot of historic trains sitting in the lot.
Welcome to the Soul Shops. This here is our maintenance and repair facility. This is the building where we take care of and restore all our pieces of historic equipment. Now, the shop complex was built back in 1982. Now, in this shop, there is always something going on. We have a wide variety of projects, which include maintenance, overhauls, and repainting, depending on what our equipment needs. In the case of the locomotive behind me, this is just regular maintenance, as is the case for all of our operational diesels. Behind me is our oldest operating diesel. This is the 710, built in 1950 by EMD for the Nashville, Chattanooga, and St. Louis Railway. 710 is typically our local diesel. This engine is usually the one you see on our train here today. 606, as I mentioned, doesn't really run the local all that often. It's pretty rare. This is maybe the second time this year it's run the local, to my knowledge. But 710 is typically the one you would see on it, wearing its red and yellow in CSL days. Now, I want to talk about a word. This word is called history. And in my opinion, history is the most important word of them all. Because, folks, history is something that I think we personally overlook. Because history is more important than we think. What you're seeing here today, folks, this is the past of American railroad travel. Not the present, not the future. This is the past. This is a time in our nation's history which is likely never, ever coming back. I'm very blessed to have a good job, very blessed to be able to learn about history, obviously people are going to have to learn it somehow, and that's why we exist. That's the point of a quote once said by Prime Minister Winston Churchill. It goes something like this: if you do not learn from history, you are only doomed to repeat it. Folks, because of you just showing up here today, we'll be able to keep history rolling for the future. So on behalf of myself, thank you.
On our way, walking back to our train, we were able to see these up close and personal. This particular train was a coal train, and you can see where the coal was stored. It was so awesome to see these up close. On the way back, we stepped inside this little gift shop. They had snacks, cold drinks, and a few little gifts that you could purchase. They also had Clumpy's ice cream, which is a thing there in Chattanooga. We got back on board our train and headed back to Grand Junction so that we could go through the museum. The murals on the outside of the exhibit building are larger than life. Preserving railroad history is what this place is all about. The mission of the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum is to collect for preservation, operation, interpretation, and display railroad artifacts in an authentic setting to educate the public concerning the role of railroads in the history and the development of this region of Tennessee. Before air travel was a thing, even interstate highways, it was trains that brought people to and from. Train travel was also highly used by the military and commercial use, getting goods back and forth from one end of the country to another. Travel has changed a lot over time, and it brings us back to a time when luxury train travel was a thing. Now people just hop a plane, but they used to hop a train. If you'd like to see more of our Chattanooga adventures, click the playlist that just popped up on your screen.